I'm back with another reading. I'm back with another chapter reading from the book George G.M. James wrote, Stolen Legacy. You know, I know it'll be easy for me to say it now, but I'm gonna just say it, and yeah, this is something I should have brought into my household, brought into my life when I was released from prison in 1991. And what I want to say to you is this right here. If you're of the black community, if you're of the righteous living, this is something you should want in your house. This is something you should want at your possession immediately. You know what I mean? This is something that you should go back and read, go back, re-educate yourself, go back, get understandings of what's going on in the now. You feel me? It's in here. You got me. It's here. It's here. Hopefully you have learned that slavery is a part of life. Hopefully you have learned that the world is full of structure. If you don't structure your household, then it will be torn apart. If you don't structure your life, it's easy to be infiltrated. You feel what I'm saying? And we all know what infiltrated means, right? Right? It could be breached. You feel what I'm saying? It could be open to someone that you shouldn't want it to be open to, because they're only there to take you down, to destroy the progress you have made. But look, I am the nasty pastor. Please, I would like for you to go to my YouTube channel, OFM Kemet Edition. Like, subscribe, share, definitely comment. Definitely comment. And we're entering another chapter in Stolen Legacy. And we're entering chapter 5, which the title is The Pre-Socratic Philosophers and the Teachings Ascribed to Them. So we have gotten an understanding that the Egyptian mystery system was explained by the Greeks. You got what I'm saying? If you've been keeping up with the reading, you know what I mean, like Socrates, Plato, just to say those two names, because those two names really stick out to me. Because see, when I was reading Stolen Legacy in prison, I started researching Socrates, Plato, you know what I mean, and the rest of them, you know what I mean. But them was the two main names that in America, most of these authors of philosophy really named. So, they stuck to me, through the times. But I say this to you, they was killed for stealing. You got what I'm saying? The Kemite philosophies, you know what I mean? The Kemite mystery system. And if you want me to keep it in the noun name so that, we have no dividing within this culture, you know what I mean? Let's just keep it at the Egyptian mystery system, the ancient Egyptian mystery system. Because see, when you say ancient, that take you back into Kemet. That's just like saying antique. You got what I'm saying? When you look at these cars out here that's antique, they're what? Older than you. You got what I'm saying? Some of these antiques are 100 years old. You may go somewhere and see a dresser that's an antique and it's older than you. You feel what I'm saying? You may go somewhere and see, a end table, a headboard, a lamp, a vase. You know what I mean? It's labeled a antique. But I say this, this should be a good chapter. This should be a very good chapter. And once again, hit that subscribe button. Once again, please go to my Facebook page, Stolen Legacy, and I believe it's written as OFM, Stolen Legacy, which you know OFM stands for Only Faith Ministries. And I want to back this up, and I want to hopefully, when I gave you the YouTube channel address, you know what I mean, I'm hoping I said OFM Kemet Edition. But that's what it is. It stands for Only Faith Ministries Kemet Edition. But let's get into this chapter reading. Let's not take up too much time. Let's not stay in a bunch of talking, useless, feverish talking, and you know this big, and it has, honestly, it has a good mm, 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 mm. This is a big one. This is a big chapter. I'm looking at 5 parts right now, but that 5th part is like that 5th part big. So this will be broken down maybe into a good 7, 8, maybe 10 parts. But we're on chapter 5. Once again, the title of chapter 5 is The Pre-Socratic Philosophers and the Teachings Ascribed to Them. And this is chapter 5, part 1. It is absolutely necessary here in chapter 5 and 6 to mention the doctrines of the so-called Greek philosophers, in order to convince my readers of their Egyptian origin, which is shown in the summaries of conclusions which follow these teachings. It is also necessary to mention them so as to serve the purpose of reference and to meet the convenience of readers. Let's get in this, you know what I mean? The earlier Ionian school. This group consisted of Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes. Thales is supposed to have lived 620 to 546 BC, and a native of Miletus is credited by Aristotle. That's another name, Aristotle, with teachings that water is the source of all living things. B, all things are full of God. Now I want to say this to you. Let's go back to the Holy Bible, you know, because that's probably the most dominant book of religion, book of scriptures most Americans gravitate to. So, you know, right here it says, all things are full of God. And when you go into these, like I said, the Holy Bible, you know what I mean? You go into their scriptures, it tells you what in Genesis? We are made in the image of God. That tree, God. You feel what I'm saying? That brick to build that house, God. That concrete, that mixture, God. You feel what I'm saying? That fish we eat, God. That cow, God. God made all that. You feel what I'm saying? In the image of God. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, to really, you know, break some things down to you, and you know, I'm not a hypocrite for saying this, but we're not to eat meat. Our body was not made to eat or digest meat. We are to eat off the land, which the land is like vegetables. You feel what I'm saying? Beans. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, we was given dominion over the creatures on this rock, And when you think about the word dominion, that means control. That means authority. So when I think about how these great pyramids were built, you know, I was in school. We talking about fifth, maybe sixth grade elementary school when they televised the findings of King Tut, and it was a book I read that asked how was the Great Pyramids built, and it showed you, you know, big stones rolling, got logs up under it, and once the log in the back has no stone on it, they take that log and put it to the front. That made sense to me because see, when you look at where the Great Pyramids at, and you look at where they had to bring the stones from that built these Great Pyramids, it was from a rock quarry. You got what I'm saying? So I'm talking about miles and miles and miles. They had to bring these stones, these big stones, up to, you know, Egypt, up to Kemet. You got what I'm saying? And then I saw something about how they use the elephants, and that made sense to me. You got what I'm saying? Because we talking about, man, I haven't been to Kemet. You got what I'm saying? I haven't even asked a person that been to Kemet, how big do these stones look in person? You got what I'm saying? But it would take an elephant to move these things, with, you know, easily. You got what I'm saying? So when I look at how us Kemites control the animals, you understand what I'm saying? We hypnotize these animals, these deadly animals, to obey us. You got what I'm saying? I could see, you know, that the elephants probably be the best solution in my mind. That, okay, let's do it this way. You got what I'm saying? I get we had the manpower because we enslaved most of the Hebrew culture, most of the Jewish culture in, you know what I mean, Kemet. So to take that manpower, put these logs up under it, you know what I mean, and roll it up that way, I get that also. I don't get the watering of the sand and the dirt because you have just made what is the word I want to use? You have just made more, how to put it, more you know, it turns to mud. You see what I'm saying? So that mud is like a defense in your way. You know what I mean? A blockage in your way where that stone cannot just move on that gravel, on that sand, on that dirt as easily as it would with some logs up under it. You feel what I'm saying? So when you think about who really invented the wheel, I give it to us Kemites. You feel what I'm saying? Isn't that a wheel? Isn't that log a wheel? Because it turns right. It really turns right. Right? It has to turn for the get these blocks, get these buildings, get these blocks of granite, of dirt and whatever it was that they mixed together to make these center blocks up to Kemet. You got what I'm saying? Let's get on back into this read. Both history and tradition are silent as to how Thales arrived at his conclusions, except that Aristotle attempts to offer his opinion as a reason. That is that Thales must have been influenced by the consideration of the moisture of nutriment and base his conclusion on a rationalistic interpretation of the myth of Oceanus. This, however, is regarded as mere conjecture on the part of Aristotle, Turner's History of Philosophy. Anaximander is supposed to have been born 610 BC at Miletus, is credited with the teaching that the origin of all things is the infinite or the unlimited, Empyrean, or the boundless. Come on, man. I get that as, you know, eternal. I get that as we're talking about whom we pray to. You feel what I'm saying? The Apeiron is regarded as equivalent to the modern notion of space and the mythological notion of chaos. Both history and tradition are silent as to how Anaximander arrived at his conclusion, but here again we find Aristotle offering his opinion as a reason that Anaximander must have supposed that change destroys matter, and that unless the substratum of change is limitless, change must at some time cease. This opinion is, of course, mere conjecture on the part of Aristotle. Now, I say this change is good, but sometimes if you're not understanding the change you're making, it hurts. You feel what I'm saying? Because, see, if you know your household is in turmoil and you have figured out what this turmoil is coming from, and you have seized this turmoil and your house is at peace, come on now, change was good, right? Right? But if you see that your house was at peace and you have allowed turmoil into your house, that change wasn't good, right? So once again, I say to you, you know what I mean? Know the people you're around. Know who you are bringing into your life before you bring them around your babies, around your spouse, around your girlfriend, around your family. Know them, because they will sit within your family, talk mess about you, and then there will come a time that they're around your family without you even knowing it. You feel what I'm saying? Because see, we all have family members that we speak about. We all have family members that don't get it. We all have family members that we are at odds with, and it's time to like figure out how to speak about them. For centuries, let me pause this because it's not centuries. For decades, you know what I mean. The way I speak about my family to people I meet is just simple and plain. We really don't get along. The way I speak about my mom, we're oil and vinegar. We don't mix for a certain period of time. It tastes good together. You feel what I'm saying? It tastes good together. But when you look at a bottle of oil and vinegar, those two liquids together does not mix well. They separate. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get back into this. Anaximenes, also a native of Miletus and supposed to have died in 528 BC, is credited with the teaching that all things originated from air. Both history and tradition are silent as to how Anaximenes arrived at this conclusion, and all attempts to furnish a reason are regarded as mere conjecture. That's the end of this reading. And I want to say this to you, you know what I mean? I really do. I really want to give you a good understanding that we came to understand, you know, reading the Holy Bible, the firmament is considered the air. The firmament is considered to be heaven, right? Right? So I don't think that the teaching is off because they get it from the ancient Egyptian Kemet culture. You feel what I'm saying? And if I don't hit the nail on the head, if I'm correct in saying that Satan dropped here, then a lot has been told wrong, a lot has been showed wrong, a lot has been taught for one's gain. And when you think about, you know, where heaven at, heaven is basically in your atmosphere, in your air. You got what I'm saying? So it's hard to explain a lot of things about this culture we in, because as Cleopatra noted, as Cleopatra has said, during her time as Pharaoh, half of the world's history was destroyed. I believe how we arrived, how life started on this rock, was part of that history. You feel what I'm saying? That was destroyed. You get me? You understand me now? So when I said this culture we're in is not to be taught to a person, it's for you to go out and figure it yourself, for you to go out and teach yourself about this culture through your understanding, through your common sense. I stand on that. I really do. I stand on that. Not because that's the way I did it. You feel what I'm saying? I feel that is the most naturalist, most productive way to get an understanding of the Kemet ancient Egyptian culture. Look, I am the nasty pastor. Please go to my Facebook page, OFM Stolen Legacy. Follow, like, got me? You don't like Facebook too much? Go on over to my YouTube channel, OFM Kemet Edition. Like, share, subscribe, and definitely comment if you can. You feel me? I'm out. I love you. And peep this out right here. You got me? Our year is ending. Our season of 2024 is ending. Don't take your baggage into 2025. We just came out of a you know, if I want to say this, you know, in a reality quote, we just went through a genocide in America. That's something I hadn't seen in my 53 years of living. And at the time it started, we're talking about 50 years of living. I hadn't seen that. You got what I'm saying? But it's also told and it's also said that if you live long enough, you're going to see some things you have never seen before. So I say this to you, you know, cherish your life, cherish the struggle that you go through, because if you're strong enough and you believe in whom you pray to, there's nothing going to be put on you you can't handle. So let's, you know what I mean, let's not take no baggage in 2025. The same progress you're making in 2024, whether it's small or whether it's big, you got me, whether it's big or whether it's small, continue. I'm out and I love you.